Hi, so in the last episode we have seen how we installed the controller, and there have been still a few bugs inside the software, and it took me about 1.5 days of running the Powerwall to find out all the problems with the code, and finally it was completely debugged. I was running now the Powerwall for the last 2 days in mode number 1. In a later video we will talk about the different modes once the build is completely finished. But the mode number 1 is basically the mode which is checking with the smart meter all the data of the power flow from the resort, and then deciding how the chargers are used to remove some excessive power. The decision about which chargers are used and how many of them, and is done in a sort of charger cycles, and the charger cycles are about 5 minutes long. The reason for the cycles is because when you switch this kind of high power devices, they're producing a lot of heat. You don't want to switch them every 10 seconds or something, so when the controller decides to shut down chargers, the chargers have again time to cool off a little bit. I have the data. The data is stored locally on a SD card during the operation. So one data point is every about 5 minutes, similar to the charging cycles. So let's take a look at the data, and you will see it's kind of interesting. Let's take a short look at the first log. I started logging at about 5:30 p.m. on 30th of August, and the log is finishing this about the same time, 1 day later, and these are 265 data points taken in those 24 hours. The data points are time, date, battery voltage, calculated state of charge, then the real power available. If there would not be a Powerwall, then the power available with the intervention of a Powerwall, and then this is charger 1, charger 2, both together, and inverter, and the temperature inside the cabinet. So let's see these 3 graphs here. The first graph is the real power. So this would be the power which we have coming from that phase after all the behind metering demand is already satisfied, and then what would actually be exported to the grid. So you can see this is the nighttime, and then the morning starting to ramp up. It's like a solar curve, but the demand satisfied behind the meter before. And coming from this chart, the next one, this is the intervention of the Powerwall by activating the charger, which is now only 1. And you can see, so every time when there is power available, and then maybe here was some air condition, clouds, other users switching on, and then there was not enough power, then it shut down, turn on, shut down. And here during the midday period, where the power is always here, we even used the washing machine and dryer this time. It still uses the charger to charge the battery. And then this spike here, this was an afternoon shower, so the charge is turned off again, and then after the shower there was again a little bit of power available. The third chart, this is basically first chart minus the second chart. What is then actually measured at the exit, this is then the real export. And you see this chart, this curve here is, these power levels are much more cut down than on the first chart. So this is successful day, successful test. You have to imagine now what will happen if there's a second charger. And so this second chart here, the intervention will look different. Sometime one charger, sometime two, the second charger, sometime both chargers. And this should reduce the chart which is seen on the up then to something like this here on the down. Very nice for the first day of testing. The test will go on. I'm still waiting for the second charger, and once the chargers are here, we'll then see the end result. You can see the concept is working pretty well, and it can only be improved. And yeah, if you're interested to do something like this, it's a great experience, and you can definitely save money with a system like this. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. There will be still more videos, and see you next time.